So, let's see it, man. I don't want to look at this map screen anymore. I want to jump right into this draft. It's going to be first pick, of course, for MVP Miracle, so they will have an opportunity to kind of turn this around.
Maybe Dami was also specifically practicing Illidan or something. I feel like Mighty knows something that we don't know yet. They were banning Illidan constantly, every single time. Let's see, we are into Infernal Shrines, game number 4.
First ban for Miracle. Well, we just see the removed Anubarak again. They banned Genji last game on second pick, with Illidan removed first pick for Mighty.
Let's see it, D.Va ban.
I think that's a bit overzealous at this stage. The D.Va was very powerful because of the zoning tools that work really well on Battlefield of Eternity, and because she could build her self-destruct also by just soloing the Immortal at the same time. Don't know if we'll see her here, but she can work on this map. I think it was a really specific composition we saw from Mighty, though, and if they can kind of port that composition, you know, and import it into this game, maybe it could work. But Miracle struggling to even ban first hero here, shaken by that game.
D.Va. They're thinking about D.Va. I'm in their head right now. But instead, it's Uther. Okay. They've been picking Uther for the first pick every single game.
Illidan, 100% ban rate here. 4 for 4 for Mighty in this series. So, not letting the Illidan go through, putting a damper on Dami. Might even want to consider the first pick going into Dahaka here. They're going to maybe give Dami the Genji. Maybe their strat here. But either way, the Genji or the Dahaka, I feel like it's the way to go for Dami when he's struggling so much with the removal of Illidan. And I think you're right with how much we saw Illidan prioritized in the best of 5 they played yesterday against RRR. Mighty is just adapting on the fly, and Miracle maybe didn't have so much of a backup plan.
It's also because usually, like MVP Black, reset will be on the Genji, which should be kind of like sniper on this team. And Judy really not playing too much of Dehaka, the global, which is so important right now in this meta, which kind of forces Dami to play Dehaka instead. I think that's one of the biggest things. And also Sniper had to play Dehaka instead when Judy is the main tank. I think they have to work on, they're working on, as they do have a new roster, they're working on the hero pool right now, but it's costing them big from what I see in the draft today.
I would have to agree with you, and I mean, what's going to be the adaptation here? Uther's removed. How are you going to pair with the Genji? You've already gotten Greymane on your opponent's side, the Anubarak there as well.
Bring in the Dami Kerrigan.
Dami Kerrigan, is that the way? Give Genji over to Sniper? Or Crazy Moving, I suppose.
I don't think it's a big risk.
Task Kerrigan here, maybe?
They have lots of options. I think Dami Kerrigan is a very good answer. Genji can harass, look for the kill when the CC's down on the ground with the Kerrigan.
I'm worried about the Kerrigan pick, though. Against an Anubarak already, there's so much CC, so much knock-up. The Cocoon could remove Kerrigan from the fight immediately. Still a strong pick for Dami specifically, I would agree. And a map-specific pick here. Li Ming will come in with Malfurion, so kind of a soft response here for Miracle, just taking some top-tier heroes that don't necessarily synergize massively with their compositions. Especially picking a Li Ming into an Anubarak, who already has base spell damage reduction, and on this map where her magic missiles will often be blocked by the Guardians of the Punishers. Interesting priority here in draft for MVP Miracle.
Li Ming, because Gudan does have a lot of wave clear, but they're looking for the reset, they're looking for that power, and Crazy Moving has been playing Li Ming today. And Gudan, with the CCs on the other side, you will find yourself dead very quickly. So instead, you need some escape. Li Ming, of course, later will have a longer range to teleport to. So Li Ming seems to be a safer choice, but this already looks pretty old to me. Miracle is not really changing much from what they practiced. They're using what they have practiced when Mighty is doing everything in the meta right now, the newest things, along with D.Va even last game. I think they can use D.Va once more, and Miracle should be thinking about even banning it too.
And when you look at the draft for Miracle, these are the heroes they've prioritized. Li Ming has been in HGC Korea, their highest prioritized DPS, even over Vala. So that's why they take the Li Ming here. For bans, with Uther already banned, perhaps you ban the Rhaegar here. I think that would be a pretty good choice. They ban the Vala instead. They're more afraid of Valarial than they are of the Rhaegar Ancestral. And it does further choke the DPS here for Mighty in terms of range. They also haven't shown any tanks, so Tychus feels less appealing at this stage when he's one of the other DPSs left for range. So we could see the Rhaegar Tyrael if Mighty wants to do something similar to what Miracle did in the previous set. The protection for Greymane. But that's not really Mighty's style. That's something we'd see from Tempest, we'd see from Miracle, and in the past maybe MVP Black, but not really Mighty's way of drafting to commit heavily to the Tyrael Greymane with the Nubrok there.
Now this is a funky situation where you have to pick in a support and you band Arthas yourselves. You do have a Nubrok for the front line, but you need a secondary tank, almost a bruiser. Maybe they were considering using Rag once more, because Molten Core does do a lot of damage here, but instead it's going to be Tychus, the old style of Mighty with the team fight. But now here comes Dehaka for the first time for their team. They are considering, they knew that Miracle was considering their global, so they're going to take it instead.
Yeah, we saw Dehaka was really prioritized by them in their series against RRR, but not so much today. Even banned for them, first ban on Sky Temple. And this is going to be for the extra lane pressure, for the looking for the early fort, looking for the EXP advantage. Tychus is going to be a safe pick against, obviously it's going to be at least one tank coming out for Miracle here. Don't think we'll see a bruiser pick like a Sonya for Miracle because, or even the Kerrigan, because there's just not enough support for them. They can't go tankless here. Just not going to work against the composition of Mighty, even with Tychus on the field. You just don't want to run that, so...
Yeah, Stitch is okay, but are you really going to get a kill on the Greymane and Tychus? So instead they pick Noradin, and here comes Kerrigan. They are putting everything on the line here with not much protection.
I don't like this pick, the Kerrigan pick. The Muradin pick is fine. You know, really do a number on Greymane with that, and
I was even thinking all the way to Avatar. I thought Avatar was also okay, along with the Genji coming in. And the last pick carries in for Mighty, I think much more solid, balanced comp for Mighty coming in. Miracle, they're very squishy. If Li Ming, Malfurion, or even Kerrigan get caught once, I think they will be deleted off the map.
There's so much CC with the Nubrok, the Dehaka, the Tychus grenades to interrupt Kerrigan's combo, to get in her face. Only having the Malfurion for sustain, for healing. She doesn't have a large health pool. You have something like an Uther. Maybe you could make the argument for the solo support for the Kerrigan here. But you always have to give Dami's Kerrigan credit. So we'll see if they can use this to bring us to a Game 5 as we move into Infernal Shrines. In blue on match point, it is Team Mighty, Joker on Nubrok, BDG on Tychus, Good on Dehaka, Nasang on Kharazim, and Magi on Greymane.
And in red, MVP, Miracle, Judy on Muradin, Dami on Kerrigan, Jaehyun on Malfurion, C moving on Li Ming, and Sniper on Genji.
So let's see if that Kerrigan can find success here. Dami, famous for his Kerrigan. Many would argue winning the grand finals of the 2016 HGC Championship at DreamHack Summer off of the hero. Immediately Genji's blown up here. The Nubrok synergy is good. Dami's dead too. And I mean, when you think about CCs and combos, stuns, the Nubrok's a new Kerrigan, except he's a tank, and he has mobility, and he has escapes, and he has a self-shield.
And the Beatles.
And Beatles.
Yes.
Kerrigans have Beatles? Where's the Beatles at?
Beatles are actually very annoying against Li Ming, because when you try to hit the orb, the Beetle, when you try to hit 3 heroes, the Beetle will actually get hit instead. So it's actually a very harassing thing from on the other side in terms of Li Ming.
So much wave clear here from Mighty too. They just sweep through these two waves. Judy gets the Storm Vault here as he went Perfect Storm, just looking for some more stacks, not actually trying to get a pick with that or anything like that. So, just going to send BDG down here solo against Jaehyun. I'm not entirely sure why Jaehyun is soloing the lane. Kerrigan's in mid right now looking for picks. They don't have a strong solo laner. Could argue Kerrigan can solo lane. And Genji is soloing top up here against the Dahaka, but it's awkward to see that. Okay, they're going to swap it around here. Jaehyun's going to rotate back up into mid as they do the 4-man rotation. I was worried. I'm like, are they just going to leave Jaehyun down there? I don't know if that's a good idea.
I think they were just trying to make a rotation because they lost 2 of their members for the time being. Sniper on top. Okay, that's a little bit unusual because they are missing their solo lane, big solo lane here. Kerrigan is really will have a hard time if she's solo lane, or even Genji, Li Ming. So they are just moving in together, going around the map, but that gives so much more space and room for Mighty to move around and soak faster to higher levels.
Yeah. Shrine is active here. This is where Kerrigan's going to Shrine when she gets her resets on her Q, but already gets cut off here by a Nubrok. Dami tries to use her Q to escape here, as you can see, dashing in, trying to get as many of the defenders as possible, but dies immediately. And we said it was a risky pick, right? We said, you know, this is a big risk. Dami's a great Kerrigan. You can see some glimpses of his mechanical skill there for just a moment, but when you don't have anything to protect and you're up against a Nubrok who can interrupt you, trap you, force you away from the fight, as we just saw there, and we've seen every time. That's Dami's second death on the Kerrigan, and I feel like there will be many more. This is going to be a dominant Punisher win here for Mighty. And so far, the Kerrigan pick does not hold water.
We can already tell the roster change is working so much better for Mighty, because after I saw Tychus, I thought maybe Johanna could be coming out for a miracle. But I don't think I've ever seen Judy playing on Johanna. I think his hero pool is really coming into play. Johanna could eliminate some TCs in the front line and also just blind Tychus to limit all the damage coming out from the auto attacks.
Good choice for the objective on this map too. Just for historical sake, Johanna and Leoric were the most broken heroes on this map, permanently banned in Korea back in 2015, but still useful, even though there were changes, of course, to how her W functions against non-minion mercenaries, etc. Monsters, I believe, as they're technically called. But anyway, there's arguments, a lot of arguments for the Johanna pick over the Muradin for sure. But I think if you had something besides the Kerrigan here, some secondary form of just wave clear, which Johanna could provide, even a Sonya might have been the better choice. Risky again, but they kind of got out-drafted. They don't have any secondary support for a hero like this with the 2 DPSs they've taken. And look at this, Dami not even hitting the combo onto BDG. Goes down immediately. Jaehyun desperately up in the front to save him, and he's going to get taken down as well. That's the double. Turned around here, and this is a dominant performance from Mighty. Judy in big trouble. There's the dive. Does get taken out before his passive, his second wind will proc. That's a dead fort, and these Impalers are just going to keep pushing. This is nearly going to be level 10 for Mighty for sure. Level 9 to the 7.2 or so. They're going to have that 10 advantage. There's almost nothing Miracle could do about it.
I'm already way too excited and happy and impressed from BDG today. That juke to dodge all the skill shots and really turning everything around from the Mighty side. And Miracle, knowing that because they do not have any Taster, they don't have shielding, and Malfurion heal is not a burst. It takes a lot of time to get all that healing back. So focusing on the right target and doing everything working out together. I don't think they have to focus. Of course they have to focus, but they can select 2 targets at once and take 2 targets out at the same time because they have so much CC available for their side right now.
Well, 10 is on the horizon here. Let's see how Miracle decides to play against this. Looks like they're going to split and soak. Li Ming soloing bot. Feels bad, man. Mid push here, going to at least knock some ammo out of these towers. But they're a whole level and a half behind now. No way they can get 10. They're just going to have to let this Punisher go. At least for them, it's a full fort buffer in the top lane before it starts working on the keep wall. Good is willing to actually turn this. They get the hook on the Judy. This turn is sick! The 7-side strike comes down. The bait was real. And good, commits the adaptation. That should have been the first warning sign to MVP Miracle that this was going to be a collapse. They do get the counter pick up here though, as everyone rotated away. Miracle's trying to steal this shrine away. They need to retreat now though. They're going to find themselves losing even more. Cocoon already committed to.
Getting for some kills, and BDG still has Odin available, and Miracle still a long way away from 10. At least they got their first kill onto Greymane, I guess. So Greymane overstepped a little bit into the shrine, and Mighty Miracle has no way of contesting this. They have to soak. Might as well just give up the entire thing and just move up, move down. Okay, Judy is already moving down to soak for 10 at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say curious they would even commit here without 10, without sending any members down. Dami's gonna join Judy there, trying to steal away some of these defenders so that they can slow down the Punisher. That's gonna, of course, buy them time. They now have 10, finally. But with the lack of protection here for Kerrigan, the missed combos, and Anubrak being on point with every stun so far, with Joker on this team, might have even considered the Ultralist pick for Kerrigan at this point. No value whatsoever. They got the 1 kill in the top lane, but there's going to be a Mortar Punisher now working down towards the keep wall. And they just send Genji to the solo lane. They're not going to try to collapse on this or try to punish this by any means. They know that Dahaka can brush stalk up. He's even going to clear mid. They're nearly going to get the level 13 Talatir advantage off this Immortal alone. Punisher, I should say.
Yeah, Miracle has to be careful here. Cocoon, everything is available onto Mighty's side.
Dami dives in. He's crazy.
And he's a cheerleader. He has to be on the back line, not in the front line too. They do have all the tools to take everything out. Twilight Dream with the perfect execution with Disintegrate and Dragon Blade. They can get kills. Because Mighty, I think, because Mighty overstepped a little bit with not taking the palm Kerosene, I think with the palm it could have been perfect protection. But with the 7-sided, that's going to do a lot more pressure onto Muradin. So all-in attack from all 10 members of this team now. The Miracle with the perfect execution, they can do it, but the Cocoon seems to be the biggest problem right now.
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, get the grab here onto Joker. The Stormbolt comes in as well, but where's the follow-up damage? Can he really Dragon Blade in this situation? No, the Disintegrate going to be doing some poking damage from behind, but with the minion wave here, Li Ming can't even find damage defensively here. Here's a combo connection, but look at this. Joker comes in 7-sided, doing some extra damage there to Judy in the back line. Not the best engage for Mighty, and they will get pushed away. We could just see problems with the composition of Miracle. I like that Sniper's been spending a lot of time split pushing, or at least evening up the pushes against the Dahaka play from Mighty so far. Not really what Genji wants to be doing as a hero, especially in a composition like this, but Sniper's very macro-minded, and he is looking for small ways to at least even the score for EXP. Miracle will take this small edge to grab the Merc camp after that solid defense in the mid lane.
And Joker is coming in for his teammate. He is the man of the day. He is just making perfect defensive and offensive moves with Anubrak. Exactly why Anubrak is so powerful in this meta right now. Maybe we'll see some future nerfs into Anubrak, because Anubrak is such a good hero right now in all team comp.
Well, let's see if Miracle can turn this one around. They still have keeps. They're about to even the talent tiers for this next shrine. Already being taken, unfortunately, by Mighty. It's going to be the very important Arcane Punisher as well. Dami going to this choke point. Let's be careful against all the CCs. The dive potential here with the Anubrak. Dami just has to play a little bit more passive. Look for big opportunities instead of trying to force them. I feel it's going to be the way he's going to make this Kerrigan work if he does. Mighty respecting the Kerrigan now, backing away when Dami's in good position. Here comes the Odin, though. Looks like we're going to see a commitment in. Big damage coming out in this choke point. Sniper's already out of the fight. Dami immediately taken down. The Twilight Dream comes up here. Sniper does have to deflect here on the Dragon Blade. It's not enough damage, though. He gets taken out. Ice Block used here super early, and Good's going to be here for the flank. Wants to grab Judy. Crazy Moving might be lucky enough to get away. I wasn't so sure Judy would. Looks like the tongue grab was on cooldown. But either way, 3 kills already. And Miracle, yet again, going to lose another Punisher. This one, the most important of all, the Arcane.
My goodness. I lost my words here. Mighty backed up to buy time for the Odin to pop up for the 2 seconds, and Miracle they thought Mighty backed out entirely from the Shrine. They went all in onto the choke point. Dehaka coming in on the other side to stop them, to body block, to CC right in. Perfectly done by Mighty. They're just doing everything they wanted. Here comes another attack. Genji barely survived with the deflect there.
Nasang seven-sided, so I'm not entirely sure what that was about, but doesn't find anything with it. But still, good positioning here on the defense for Miracle. The Punisher is being baited away from the keep. They want to defend this keep so badly, but they're down in talent here. And Mighty's just going to ignore the members of MVP Miracle because the Arcane Fireballs are on the ground. And that's going to be the keep. Safely retreat here. Dami gets the combo into Nasang, doesn't have seven-sided. That's going to be another kill here for Miracle. Can they keep this fight going, though? They're diving in. Dragon Blade committed here for Sniper. Joker gets caught. This is the fights they were looking for. And just one small overextension is going to cost Mighty several members here.
Exactly. Well put in. Crazy Moving doing the last bit of damage, taking the Haka to only one left is BDG. He will survive for sure. But going overextending a little bit, using the seven-sided to actually grab onto Genji, and he dashed in to get 100 Fist onto Genji, but that was all deflected. Damage came back to Karazim, so he was hitting himself actually. That costed him big, and perfect target execution by Miracle. Now they have a chance to come back into this game. They are about to hit 16, and when they do, they can have the Shrine control back.
So this catapult pressure is actually going to get denied here by this push. The catapult was doing some damage to heroes there for a second, but this is one small step, and they need about 7 of these, right? They're going to need to continue to win these fights.
3-4 is enough, and to
okay, look at this. This is not going to be
already seven-sided done.
Silence is good here, though. That's a reset for Crazy Moving. Good ice block here. Jaehyun walking the wrong way in the fight. He's going to go down. Dami goes down with him. The Cocoon here removing Crazy Moving, even though he had those resets. Couldn't utilize him when he was stuck in. The double burrow charge here stun coming in. Looks like Judy is going to be the target. Sniper trying to harass in the backline, but the armor here for BDG making it very difficult. That's a triple right before the Shrine. Death timers are getting longer here. They're going to take this Impaler cap, perhaps the neutral one as well, before heading to the Shrine. They don't need to work on the mid-keep. It's unfortunately, there's the buffer there for the fort, so they can't make a massive capitalization with this. They're already probably a little bit stressed out after that failed core rush, so they're taking the safer moves here.
Bringing back that safe, the core rush there. They're trying to take this, turn things around. Joker gets very low. Seven-sided used to get the kill. Nasang being super aggressive here as Greymane is already working on the Shrine. So they're just buying time, trying to take down this fort to just widen the gap between the levels.
Yep, they will get the fort and half of that Shrine. Daka clearing up the top wave right now. Will probably look to come in very soon. Just wants to help them get 20. For Odin, still down for 25 seconds. Same with seven-sided. They do have go for the throat. Dami needs to be very wary of his position. I like this. Just sit back, get those heals. This is definitely a fight Miracle can absolutely win. Dragon Blade's popped here. They are going in. Huge Twilight Dream. The Cocoon, though, is real. Will the silence be enough? That's the first reset here coming out for Crazy Moving.
That's the second reset onto Sniper, trying to catch good and does get the kill. There's another reset. Lubarak is caught. Crazy Moving will get the third kill.
Judy just saying, I'm not sure why you went back in there. That was definitely a pretty aggressive dive from Joker. The catapult pressure is onto the core. It's starting to work it down to 69% here, Kappa Pride. But you know, at this stage, I mean, the death timers are getting longer. Miracle not necessarily going to get a keep from this one, but they're starting to win these fights more consistently. And it's about Li Ming's resets. The Dragon Blades have been really good. And Mighty, I feel like, is almost not taking these fights as seriously as I feel they should be. Not really waiting for the heroics to come online. The seven-sided, the Odin.
Yep, they still need a lot of time, but they caught up the levels now, Miracle. They can make, seems like they're working on their Miracle right now, trying to make this series on to 2-2, going to our last game possibly. But Mighty, they still have an upper hand. They can still make a comeback.
We'll see if they do after this, though. Here comes the Kerrigan diving. He's making it happen. Seven-side strike on 2 targets here. The Odin is up, but 3 members already down here. Nasang on the retreat. Punisher's down. Will they go core here? Only a support and an Odin now. Not even the level 20. Level 20 is up for MVP Miracle. Silence goes in. That's the kill on the Karazim. And a basically one game for Mighty goes wrong in 2 bad team fights. And we are going to a game 5. That is the full wipe. MVP Miracle made it happen. Good team fighting, good coordination. Dami finally coming online in the late game. And that is going to be it. GG. Our best game, I think, by far for the season so far, G-Clap as well.
That was the biggest comeback we've ever seen in Korea for the season. That's indeed Miracle just turning things around, coming in hot when that Twilight Dream is popped with the silences on the multiple members of Mighty and focusing on to the perfect target, getting those resets and having a lot more damage on coming out from MVP Miracle. Just last 2 team fights. That's all they needed. They lost 5 straight. They lost 5 straight.
Yeah. Ouch. I said 7, but I guess 5 is good enough. I mean, they shouldn't win any more fights after that. The momentum was going back. There were 2 fights. The first 2 they lost. I felt like Mighty was playing with their food a little bit. Like when they lost immediately the Tychus, they sent Nubrock into the fight with no support. He didn't have any heals. Karazim was already out of the fight. He was too low. And I feel like there was definitely some mistakes in coordination there. And Mighty, I think, is showing themselves a little bit to be somewhat of a momentum-based team. When they're ahead and they're really feeling it, they just smash. They do everything correct.